There are those who believe mermaids and mermen swim the Great Lakes of North America. The Great Lakes, containing roughly 20% of the world's fresh surface water, have long been a source of mystery and wonder for the communities that surround them. These vast inland seas, with their unpredictable storms and depths that rival ocean trenches, have generated centuries of folklore and legend among sailors, indigenous peoples, and settlers alike. Among the most intriguing of these legends are tales of mermaids and aquatic humanoids that have been reported in these waters since before European contact, challenging our understanding of what might lurk beneath the surface of North America's most iconic bodies of water. Mermaid folklore represents one of humanity's most enduring mythological traditions, appearing in cultures across every inhabited continent with remarkable consistency. These creatures, typically described as having the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish, have been depicted in ancient Assyrian art, Greek mythology, African folklore, and Asian legends for thousands of years. In European tradition, mermaids were often portrayed as dangerous beings who lured sailors to their deaths with enchanting songs, though some tales presented them as benevolent creatures who could grant wishes or provide warnings of coming storms. The persistence of these legends across such diverse cultures suggests a deep-seated human fascination with the boundary between land and water, and perhaps reflects our ancient ancestors' attempts to explain unusual marine phenomena or rare sightings of actual aquatic mammals like seals and manatees in unfamiliar contexts. The Great Lakes region possesses its own rich tapestry of paranormal folklore that extends far beyond aquatic humanoids to encompass a wide range of unexplained phenomena. Native American tribes, including the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, and Iroquois, have long spoken of powerful water spirits and supernatural beings dwelling in the lakes, some benevolent and others malevolent. The lakes are said to be home to enormous serpentine creatures, ghost ships that appear and disappear without explanation, and mysterious lights that dance above the water on moonless nights. Sailors and fishermen have reported strange occurrences, including compasses that spin wildly, unexplained disappearances of ships and crews, and haunting sounds that seem to emanate from the depths during calm weather. This tradition of Great Lakes mysticism has created a cultural environment where reports of unusual aquatic creatures, including mermaids, are taken seriously by local communities and passed down through generations as part of the region's oral history. Specific accounts of mermaids in the Great Lakes have been documented since at least the 18th century, with reports continuing sporadically into modern times. These freshwater mermaids differ somewhat from their saltwater counterparts in description, often portrayed as smaller and adapted to the colder, darker environment of the inland seas. Witnesses have described creatures with pale, almost translucent skin, large eyes adapted for low light conditions, and behavior that suggests intelligence and curiosity about human activities. Some accounts describe mermaids with greenish-tinged skin that helps them blend with the algae-covered rocks and underwater vegetation common in the Great Lakes. Unlike the singing sirens of ocean legend, Great Lakes mermaids are more often reported as silent observers, though some accounts mention haunting calls that echo across the water at dusk or dawn. The most famous and well-documented account of a Great Lakes aquatic humanoid is the Lake Superior Merman incident of 1782, recorded by multiple witnesses near the Canadian shore. According to historical records, a group of fur traders and local Ojibwe people observed what they described as a male aquatic creature with human features from the waist up and a powerful fishtail below. The creature reportedly surfaced repeatedly over several days near their camp, seeming to observe their activities with evident curiosity and showing no fear of the humans watching from shore. Witnesses described the being as having long, dark hair, a muscular upper body covered in what appeared to be smooth, seal-like skin, and expressive eyes that conveyed intelligence and awareness. The creature was observed catching and eating fish, and on one occasion appeared to offer a fish to the watching humans before diving back beneath the surface. This account is particularly significant because it was documented by both European traders and indigenous peoples independently, lending it unusual credibility compared to single witness accounts. Theories attempting to explain the Lake Superior Merman sighting and similar accounts range from the skeptical to the speculative, each offering different perspectives on what witnesses might have encountered. The most conservative explanation suggests misidentification of known animals, particularly seals that occasionally enter the Great Lakes through the St. Lawrence Seaway, though this waterway did not exist in 1782, and seals were not native to the region at that time. Some researchers propose that witnesses may have seen a person swimming or a floating log that created an optical illusion under certain lighting conditions, though this explanation struggles to account for the repeated, close-range observations by multiple experienced outdoorsmen and indigenous peoples familiar with their environment. More speculative theories suggest the possibility of an unknown species adapted to freshwater environments, perhaps a relic population of some aquatic mammal that evolved different characteristics in isolation, or even the survival of some prehistoric creature in the deep, unexplored regions of the lakes. Cryptozoologists point out that Lake Superior reaches depths of over 1,300 feet, and much of its bottom remains unmapped, providing theoretical habitat for unknown species. Analysis of the 1782 account and subsequent Great Lakes mermaid reports reveals several interesting patterns that distinguish these sightings from typical monster folklore. The descriptions remain remarkably consistent across time periods and geographical locations around the lakes, suggesting either a shared cultural narrative or multiple observations of similar phenomena. Witnesses typically describe the creatures as curious rather than threatening, a notable departure from European mermaid legends that emphasize danger to humans. The sightings cluster in areas of the Great Lakes known for unusual depth, complex underwater geology, and strong currents that could potentially support hidden populations of aquatic creatures. Psychological analysis suggests that while some reports may result from pareidolia, or the human tendency to see patterns and faces in random stimuli, the specificity and consistency of many accounts resist easy dismissal as pure imagination. The fact that indigenous peoples reported similar beings long before contact with European mermaid folklore also complicates attempts to attribute these accounts solely to cultural contamination or imported mythology. The impact of Great Lakes mermaid folklore extends beyond mere curiosity, influencing regional culture, tourism, and even environmental awareness in meaningful ways. Towns around the Great Lakes have embraced their aquatic legends, creating festivals, monuments, and museums dedicated to local folklore that draws tourists and generates economic activity. The legends have inspired countless works of art, literature, and music that celebrate the mystery and majesty of the Great Lakes, contributing to a distinctive regional identity. More importantly, these stories foster a sense of respect and wonder toward the lakes themselves, encouraging people to view these bodies of water as complex ecosystems worthy of protection rather than simply as resources to be exploited. Environmental organizations have found that folklore and mystery can be powerful tools for engaging public interest in conservation, as people become invested in protecting the potential habitat of legendary creatures. The persistence of these legends into the modern era, despite our technological sophistication, speaks to a human need for mystery and the acknowledgement that despite our scientific advances, nature may still harbor secrets beyond our current understanding. The mermaids of the Great Lakes represent far more than simple superstition or entertaining campfire stories. They embody humanity's complex relationship with the natural world and our ongoing quest to understand the mysteries that surround us. Whether these legends stem from misidentification, imagination, cultural tradition, or genuine encounters with unknown creatures, they serve important cultural and psychological functions in the communities around these great inland seas. The Lake Superior Merman of 1782 and similar accounts remind us that vast portions of our planet, including the depths of our own Great Lakes, remain unexplored and potentially capable of surprising us. As we continue to map the underwater topography of these lakes and study their ecosystems with increasingly sophisticated technology, we may eventually solve the mystery of the Great Lakes mermaids. But until then, these legends continue to spark imagination and inspire respect for the power and mystery of the natural world.